WLNS is here for you with 6 News at Noon.
New at noon, the Jackson County Sheriff's Office is investigating a deadly hit and run. It's our top story. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Megan Vaselli. Investigators say 27-year-old Brent Walker of Jackson was found dead on the side of the road near South Street and Helena Avenue in Summit Township. They say Walker appeared to have been hit by a car which took off after the crash. Investigators believe the vehicle involved is charcoal gray or black and will have some front end damage. If you know a vehicle matching that description or have any other information about this deadly hit and run, call the detective sergeant at the number on your screen. Also new at noon, new video from a police chase and shootout in Jackson County. The suspect was shot and killed after police say he opened fire on them and threw pipe bombs out of his car. Zach Prees is here for you now with the latest. Zach?
Today, police released new dashcam video of the deadly high-speed chase, and it happened back on November 6th in the city of Jackson. The suspect was eventually killed and one officer was shot in the arm. Let's take a look. This new video shows the suspect firing multiple shots from close range at officers who have been in pursuit of his minivan. Several shots hit the windshield and the hood of the police car, as you can see in these new pictures, but no officers sustained life-threatening injuries. After this exchange, the chase then continued as the suspect drove off and officers followed, and it would eventually result in the shooting and death of the suspect. Police say the suspect threw pipe bombs out of his car, and you can see here pictures of some of those bombs, which were confiscated after the chase. And here's also another picture of the suspect's firearm, which police say he used to fire on them during the chase. The suspect, Jacob Austin Hikes, died at the scene, and police are expected to release new information tomorrow at a press conference, and we will be there for you. Megan, back to you.
Zach, thank you. Starting tonight, you can expect lane closures on I-96 in Ingham County as DTE Energy crews begin utility work. The work on I-96 will happen in both directions between M52 and Williamston Road in Weberville. The project starts at midnight and is expected to wrap up around 4 o'clock tomorrow morning. During that time, there will be intermittent closures on the highway. Michigan State Police will be on scene to guide traffic during this time to ensure the safety of both DTE workers and drivers. If you are hitting the road, Michigan gas prices are down 12 cents from last week. Now drivers are paying, on average, $3.01 per gallon of regular unleaded. That's 17 cents fewer than this time last month and 18 cents fewer than this time last year. Newly elected Republicans who now control the State House of Representatives are expected to meet later today. They plan to discuss their new road funding plan at the Capitol, seeking billions of dollars for future work. House Speaker-elect Matt Hall will hold a briefing at 1:30 this afternoon. It's a follow-up to what GOP leaders unveiled on Friday, a plan to dedicate nearly $3 billion in additional funding to fix Michigan's crumbling infrastructure. Republicans say they'll work to get support from Democrats who hold the majority in the state legislature right now to make this issue a priority in the current lame duck session. A new CBS News poll finds 59% of Americans approve of how President-elect Donald Trump is handling the transition. He announced another series of administration picks over the weekend. This includes hedge fund manager Scott Bessent to be Treasury Secretary and Congresswoman Lori Chavez DeRemer as Labor Secretary. Christian Benavides is here for you with the latest.
A new CBS News poll finds 59% approve of how President-elect Donald Trump is handling the transition.
We're going to have hearings early so we can get his team in place when he takes the oath of office on January 20th.
Over the weekend, Trump announced a series of administration picks, including hedge fund manager Scott Bessent to be Treasury Secretary and Congresswoman Lori Chavez DeRemer as Labor Secretary. The poll shows many of Trump's choices have more support than opposition, including some of his more controversial picks, like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. for Health and Human Services, Tulsi Gabbard for Director of National Intelligence, and Pete Hegseth for Defense. So far, the Trump transition team has not signed an agreement with the FBI to conduct background checks on cabinet nominees, which could impact the vetting process.
If they keep delaying on these background checks, we will have a delay in getting these cabinet officials in.
I don't think the American public cares who does the background checks. What the American public cares about is to see the mandate that they voted in delivered upon.
The Trump transition also hasn't signed an agreement with the White House to get access to office space, help with expenses, or share information. A transition spokesperson tells CBS News they continue to constructively engage with the Biden administration. Cristian Benavides, CBS News, West Palm Beach, Florida.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
We have gloomy but mild conditions in the forecast today. Temperatures across mid-Michigan will be topping out in the upper 40s. Still going to be above average for this time of year, but enjoy it while you can because we have some pretty big major changes going forward. Temperatures will be below average starting tomorrow in the upper 30s, and likely as we move into this upcoming weekend, our high temperatures will be below the freezing mark across mid-Michigan. That cool down is going to come along with the chance for precipitation and maybe the chance for accumulating snow across the area as well. Thankfully, temperatures today are going to be way too warm to talk about snowfall, but we do still have a couple of widely scattered rain showers making their way across mid-Michigan. As our area of low pressure continues to track off to the northeast, our coverage in terms of today's rain showers is going to become a little bit more widespread. So widespread sprinkles in the forecast starting right around 5 or 6 o'clock this evening, and they will continue into at least the first half of the overnight hours. After that, we dry things out, a dry start to our Tuesday. Maybe a couple of isolated flurries possible across the area, but anything we see is going to be fairly brief and really won't have a chance to actually stick to the ground. As we go throughout the day on Tuesday, we are going to see some big improvements in terms of the amount of sunshine we have in the forecast. Cloud cover decreases throughout the day, but again, that sunshine still going to come along with high temperatures only in the upper 30s, and it's not going to last that long. Widespread cloud cover moves right back in for Wednesday morning, and you can start to see our next area of low pressure beginning to develop to our southwest. Wednesday night, that system will be bringing us a rain and snow mix, and then eventually just some snow showers as we move towards Thanksgiving. There's been a lot of chatter online in terms of snowfall accumulations. As of right now, it looks like the days to watch really going to be Friday and then Sunday as well, with a couple of lake effect snow showers across the area. But in terms of significant accumulations, I'm really not impressed with what our latest models are going to be showing. Nonetheless, we'll keep you updated as we go forward. Across mid-Michigan right now, a couple of sprinkles falling over towards the capital. Temperatures 45 degrees, feeling just a touch cooler with winds at 5 miles per hour coming out of the east. A live look at our current conditions in Grand Ledge. Current and feels like temperature at 45 degrees and a peak wind gust of 10 miles per hour. A very similar situation over in downtown Jackson. Current wind chill temperature at 44 degrees with winds gusting up to 12 miles per hour thus far. And in Hillsdale, we've seen winds gusting up to 15 miles per hour, and they are going to be getting a lot calmer as we move throughout the second half of the day. Again, as I mentioned, high temperatures today topping out in the upper 40s. We begin the process of drying things out overnight tonight. Temperatures falling down into the low 30s across the area. Our 6-day forecast again highlights some pretty major changes. We get to balance out the cool down that we have in the forecast for tomorrow with a lot more in the way of sunshine. But notice, starting Wednesday morning, our overnight lows will be starting out in the mid to low 20s by the time we get into Friday. High temperatures at or below the freezing mark. Yes, we do still have several days of snow, so we're bound to see some accumulations, but there's not really one day that just sticks out in terms of the forecast for that, though.
Okay.
Yeah, that's at least some good news.
Yeah. We've just got a lot going on.
Yeah, we do. And unfortunately, it's right around the time for travel season, but we'll get through it just fine.
We'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Kendall. We appreciate it. 6 News wants to recognize remarkable women here in mid-Michigan who make a difference, not only for their families, but also the community as a whole. To make a submission, click on the Remarkable Women section of our website, WLNS.com, and tell us all about the remarkable woman in your life. We'll pick 4 women and profile them during Women's History Month in March. You have until December 20th to nominate someone.